My name is Dan Yoder, and I'm the gentleman who caught on fire at the Dallas Cowboys playoff game on January 1st of 1978.
My goodness, it's a man on fire. Anything can happen to this. Woo!
I have never publicly told this story about the snowman incident. I was 24 years old. I was on a date at the game. The Cowboys were playing the Minnesota Vikings. I had been to a debutante party the night before wearing the costume with my date. It was a snowman suit. We rented it from Texas Costume Company. They brought out a white furry costume and it fit perfectly. Well, it was freezing cold at the stadium, and there was a high school girl selling hot chocolate up and down the rows of the stadium. The hot chocolate was warmed by liquid heat called sterno. When big white furry snowman walks by, and she turned to see what I was, and she spilled her sterno down my back. And all of a sudden I felt some heat on my shoulder. I had no idea that I was on fire. When I saw the fire on my shoulder, I absolutely panicked. I said, "Unzip me, somebody, unzip me," because I was zipped up in the back like a woman's dress, and I couldn't just unzip the zipper and jump out of the costume. I had to have someone unzip it. So I took off the big paper mache snowman head, and the crowd seemed to be moving away from me, not toward me. I turned around and started running up the stands. I thought I was dead. I thought I was going to burn to a crisp. So they took their jackets off and smothered me out with the jackets. And by that time, I was in shock. You can see in the video them carrying me out of the stadium on a stretcher. I was in the burn unit at Parkland Hospital about 3 weeks. I suffered second and third degree burns. The costume had zippers on the arms and the legs, and the zippers melted into my skin. The girl who lit me on fire absolutely freaked out. She actually fled the stadium in fear. The material that the costume was made out of had been outlawed for 14 years. When this incident happened, my friends who were attorneys thought that this lawsuit could result in millions of dollars in damages. The Cowboys and the costume shop were in a joint lawsuit. I received about $20,000 from the settlement. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Yoder.
Yes.
Hey, Lieutenant Lorenzo Chavez, Irving Fire Marshal's office. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you're the man that caught on fire back in '78.
Yes, it's been about 41 years, okay. 251 days.
All right, well, we got a lot of catching up to do. Why don't you join us in here? So I have several of the artifacts from the actual day, initial investigation report, and then also some of the witness statements that were taken, including yours. One that I did want to show you, besides the head, I wanted to let you know that it has become somewhat of a legend in the fire marshal's office. This held a small corner in our evidence locker all these years. So what we have is the initial tag. This was the bag that they used to collect it, and you see it's from January 1st, 1978. So here are the pieces, and as you probably presume, and your recollection of it, you could probably expound on it, but I'm sure it was white when you initially rented it. And here are several of the other pieces from that day. The shoes you were wearing. I believe a sock you were wearing. And then a glove, if you recall the gloves from the suit.
I had second and third degree burns. This suit was made of an outlawed for 14 years flammable product. And that's why it ignited so quickly.
Sure. As far as the costume goes, you can tell parts of it that actually burned, because, for instance, there is no more of the fuzzy snowman pieces here, as well as the discoloring from the flames and the heat, whereas you can tell that the shoes weren't impacted by the radiant heat of the fire, because they're still, although dulled, because we're talking 41 years later, they still have white to them, whereas all parts of the suit that were close in proximity to the heat and fire, you can tell that they are damaged.
The costume arms, I guess, had zippers on them.
And that may be what part of this is. I'm not sure if it's a leg or an arm, but there's a zipper.
But anyway, it had these zippers, and the zippers melted. It was so hot they melted into my skin.
That was unfortunate.
So anyway, I was burned basically on my legs and arms and under my neck. When I started inhaling the fumes from the flame, I thought I was dead. And then these two guys kind of just tackled me.
Do you feel like those gentlemen saved your life?
Definitely.
This is very, very 70s, I would say. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
And Mr. Yoder, with it being here, I was wondering if we could actually have you try it on to see if it still fits. Would that be okay?
The head?
The head.
Well, I might have to take
Or
my
the hat.
glasses off.
Which one would be easier? It still fits. Does it take you back at all?
Not really.
Not really?
Limited vision.
It seems like it'd be very limited
like
vision
an
in something
echo
like
chamber.
that. For our sake of you being here, and you talk about it being banned, from what you understood, banned material, let's just take a little piece of it and see how flammable it might actually be. We can step outside, take all the necessary safety precautions, and see after 41 years if this stuff will still burn. Okay, here we go. The whole thing is engulfed in flames right now. You can't see it, but there's small amounts of it. It's just literally decaying from the heat. So I could see why they would mention that it was probably banned, the fabric, and I'm guessing it will decay to almost nothing if we allow it to just continue to burn. But I guess we probably had about a 2-inch by 4-inch or 5-inch strip that's reduced now just to ashes. Oh, and they're getting away from me, so reduced to nothing. It was impressive on how quickly it burned. And the wind, you could see, only breathed life into the fire, and I guess you running around caused a similar effect.